All right, it is a beautiful morning here in South Georgia. We are a little behind schedule. We left Arkansas at about 3:30 yesterday morning. Really no big hurry, except we wanted to get back to South Georgia, so see Wyatt playing a baseball game. Went to that game last night. They won, good game, and got home. You know, been on the road for about 4 or 5 days. Had a lot of stuff to get done. A lot of trap maintenance today, but had this single boar that we've been looking at that was coming in a trap with 8 piglets, and I'll explain all that a little bit later. Right now I'm just trying to get to this trap. So went ahead about 3:30 this morning, flipped the switch on the boar and the 8 little piglets, and I fell back asleep. Which very rarely happens, but I did. I fell back asleep and woke up and was like, holy crap, man, what did I just do? So for some of you be like, well, it's a big deal, you can go into daylight. You're right, we can, but that's not what we do. It's not humane to the hogs. It's not what we do. So threw everything in the truck, headed to the property. You can see we're starting to get a little bit of daylight, but we're going to be able to get in there. It's kind of down off in a hole, and go ahead, take him out, take these piglets out. Really weird combination with these piglets and this single boar, and like I said, I'll explain that a little later. But anyway, so I'm gonna get back. We're almost on property, and we're just gonna move quick. I got the thermal. I'll run that thermal down in there, and then engage. So hang on. All right, so it's time for story time. We're gonna attach a bunch of pictures to the end of this video so you can kind of see how we got into what we called a mess. Originally what happened was we had a sow with 8 babies enter the trap. They found it, they entered, they ate corn, they were happy. Again, human scent, we truly believe, is the biggest issue. That's why we're running feeders. We're only coming to these trap sites it's every 30 days. And that's literally to swap that gate battery out, inspect everything, fill the feeder, eat all the above. Get the maintenance up and running, just get it. Everything needs to be where it needs to be. So this sow came in, she had no issues with the trap. She fed, she was happy, everything was beautiful. She left. She went that direction and got caught on a camera that belongs to the landowner. And we're like, well, no biggie, who cares? She went up the creek, she kind of diverted up, and she went to a little food plot. And it happens, because they're in this area. The next time we see the piglets, there's no sow. The piglets are by themselves. Now, we're like, man, that's kind of odd. Sometimes that happens. A lot of times you won't see sows come in during the daytime, the piglets will. But that sow originally was in this trap in the daylight. And we're like, wow, we really don't know what the deal is. So we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited. And this went on and on. So finally I contacted the landowner and I said, hey, I don't know what's going on. I said, I'm missing a sow. She was a very healthy looking sow. She wasn't about ready to drop another litter. It'd be too soon, but she didn't look pregnant. She was healthy looking. He's like, man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, okay. So we just keep watching. Well, then we start to notice right out over here, so the camera's right there, we noticed that we've got a hog outside the panel that doesn't come in. But we get other pictures from our ICE camera. That's why we stress all these cameras, that we zoom in, and we go, holy crap, that's a boar. That's not a sow, that's a boar outside the panel. And we're like, and we didn't know, hey, something's going on here. Well, where's our sow? We just don't know where our sow's at. So fast forward a little bit, we're still watching and waiting. Then one night, the boar enters the trap. And he's in, but there's no piglets. And we're like, all right, well, okay, we just keep watching. So then our landowner finds the sow kind of up near the food plot. And she's dead. Can't really tell if there's any bullet holes, nothing like that, but she's dead. We had a gentleman on the property trapping predators. We're like, well, you know, I mean, he would not just randomly go around and shoot hogs. I mean, you shouldn't do that. That's not what he's hired to do. So, that rocks on for a little bit. Piglets keep coming back in, piglets keep coming back in, piglets keep coming back in. And then they got to where they just started laying down right over here, and they just spend the night and lay down. Well, then the boar starts coming in, and the boar starts coming in. And now they're in here together, and the piglets didn't mess with him. The boar shoved his head down on the feeder, had a big field day, you know, good to go. I mean, everything was beautiful. Landowner contacts the gentleman that was trapping the predators and says, hey, by the way, did you happen to engage any hogs on the property? Well, I saw a group and I shot at them. So there you go. Very unfortunate, because here we are trying to trap a group, and this has rocked on for about a month. So the goal ended up being, okay, let's trap Big Boy with the piglets, because we don't want to drop on the piglets, maybe educate the boar, drop on the boar, and believe it or not, educate the piglets. And that's what happened at 3 o'clock this morning, or whatever it was. And, you know, boom, it all came together. The piglets were in the trap sleeping. They had been in here for a couple hours. And then he rolled in 3:30, whatever it was, and flipped the switch. And then I was exhausted, tired, wore out, and fell back asleep. So anyway, got here in time. Everything's good. Nothing outside the gate. And that's the story. So we will attach a series of YagerPro pictures after the video so you can kind of see step by step. But again, probably about a month-long process. And this is why it's so critical on these properties, you know, that we need to know what's going on, you know, because there's no crop fields anywhere near here. So, you know, we see them drift out to the crop fields. Guys will ride by and they'll shoot them with thermals. They don't have permission to do that. Some do, some don't, but some just go by and shoot. No crop fields. So where did our sow go? And when you start seeing piglets coming in the daytime by themselves, you know, no sow, it's a pretty good indicator at that point, you know, and we have a problem. And then if they start coming in at night by themselves, it's a problem. We see piglets come in and sows will wander around the trap going, I'm not sure about this, but we never had that. From the get-go, that sow was committed to the trap. She was good with it. And that's all about trap location and no human scent. So I've run my pie hole enough. I hope that all makes sense. But it's all about trapping the group. It's all about trapping the group and not educating other hogs. We could have taken these piglets a long time ago, even when we weren't sure if the sow was alive or dead, but we could have educated Big Boy. We took the bonus, which is when you drop a gate, you don't want anything on the outside, and you're trying to take as many hogs as you can at that exact time. Because no matter how good you are, how quiet you are, it doesn't matter. When you come into these enclosures, it's a disruption to everything. So these are the 8 little piglets. You got 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our boar. Some halfway decent cutters on him. So he was on his way to becoming a big old hog. And so we had 4, 5, 6, 7, let's see. Oh, forgot this guy over here. Sorry about that. 8. So anyway, 8. So you'll see it's a single gate. YagerPro, it's not the newest gate, not the oldest gate. Little ice camera on the outside out there. We're running a 3-leg on time. And then we got our big pole running the live video. Good location on the property. There's actually a little creek down there. And creeks are a good place to put these semi-permanent traps. Now, up that way about 1,000 yards, we actually have a bait site, which will be there today doing maintenance. And that just kind of tells us what's maybe coming on that side of the property. This is about, all total, about a 1,200 acre tract. But it's got a paved road that goes through the middle. So, hang on. All right, we got them all loaded up. One thing I failed to mention, there is a picture in the string of pictures that's going to come from a different type of camera. A landowner about a half mile away had the piglets on camera with no sow, and that was another like big indicator. You know, and you may think these little guys wouldn't travel. That's nothing for hogs, especially, you know, adult hogs. Hell, that's just a walk in the park for them. But yeah, half mile from here. You know, I just put it in the wind. And they came back because we're a constant food source. Now that feeder is what we call unprotected. On hunting properties like this property, strictly a hunting property, all the feeders for the deer are wrapped. So hogs can't get to them, but the deer can. We have bait sites here on this property that are just a feeder running. And if hogs come to it, then we can wrap it with a trap. So that's kind of how it works. So let me show you what we got, and then we're going to wrap it up. So we hope y'all enjoy the video. You know, good day here. Didn't work out exactly like we wanted with me sleeping over, but, you know, we got it done, and we feel good about, you know, everything was clean, meaning there was nothing outside the system. And we know there's another group in here. We've seen them one time, and then they disappeared. So kind of hoping that'll work out. You know, that we'll be able to locate them. It's March now. A lot of prescribed burning going on in the south, meaning they're burning the underbrush. This property's getting ready to be burned. That pushes hogs around a lot. We see a lot of migration during the burn. Turkey season's coming on, so we see a little push from, you know, turkey hunters getting more active, putting in food plots, you know, whatever they're doing, putting their blinds up. There's a little push from that. And then, you know, corn is going to be planted here any week. In the next couple, like 2 weeks from now, will be corn. Corn's going to start coming in. And then we start stressing about the peanuts that are soon to be on the way, which is going to be late April, beginning of May. Peanuts are going in the ground. So it's like we're like crossing our fingers until like June, just because trying to protect the crops. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Give us all the feedback you can. We'd love to hear like how we're doing. And thanks for the support.
Thank you.